Retiring at 35. I don't know about you, but my retirement plan at 20 was mostly hoping pizza would still be around.
Right.
But that's exactly what Francisco did, and he used Bitcoin to make it happen.
It's a story that really captures the imagination, isn't it? And while Francisco's story is unique, there are some key takeaways that can apply to anyone looking to achieve financial freedom.
Let's dig into those. This article paints a fascinating picture of Francisco's journey. What were some of the pivotal moments that led him to this point?
Well, it all started with a clear vision. Francisco knew early on that he didn't want to be stuck in the corporate grind for decades. At just 20 years old, he set his sights on retiring by 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about being ahead of the game. So how did Bitcoin enter the picture?
He discovered Bitcoin in 2020 and was immediately intrigued by its potential. He saw it as a way to potentially break free from traditional financial systems and take control of his own financial destiny.
Okay, so he sees the potential, but then he goes all in, selling his house to invest in Bitcoin. That's a level of conviction most people only dream of, right? What drove that decision?
Francisco recognized that debt was a major obstacle to achieving his financial goals. Think of it like this. Every dollar you owe in debt is a dollar that can't grow through investments. By selling his house, he eliminated his mortgage payments and other debts, freeing up a significant amount of capital to invest in Bitcoin.
That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. It's not just about acquiring assets, but also about shedding the things that hold you back financially. But still,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, it's known for being pretty volatile.
Absolutely, and Francisco understood that volatility could work in his favor. He wasn't afraid of the price swings. In fact, he incorporated them into his strategy.
Okay, so how does someone actually leverage volatility? That sounds like something only Wall Street wizards do.
Imagine a roller coaster. Most people get nervous during the drops, but Francisco embraced those drops as opportunities to buy more Bitcoin at a lower price. Then when the price surged upward, as it often does with Bitcoin, he strategically sold portions of his holdings to lock in profits.
So it's like he's riding the waves, buying low, and selling high, just on a much grander, faster scale than your average investor. But but surely it can't be as simple as buying and selling whenever the mood strikes, right? Was there a method to his madness?
You're right, it wasn't random. While the article doesn't go into specific trading strategies, it does emphasize that Francisco was constantly learning, researching, and refining his understanding of Bitcoin and the markets.
Yeah.
He became a student of the game, so to speak.
So it sounds like knowledge and a deep understanding of Bitcoin played a big part in his success.
Absolutely. It wasn't just luck. Francisco coupled his belief in Bitcoin's long-term potential with dedicated research and a willingness to embrace the calculated risks involved.
And this wasn't just a get-rich-quick scheme for him. This was about a completely different lifestyle, right?
That's right. Francisco saw Bitcoin as part of a bigger picture, a way to create a life of freedom and purpose.
Yeah.
Remember, he wasn't just after wealth, he wanted to retire early.
Which he achieved, but that in itself requires a huge lifestyle shift. The article mentioned he moved and embraced minimalism. That sounds like more than just a financial strategy.
Exactly. Francisco understood that true financial freedom means aligning your spending with your values. He moved to a more rural area, significantly reducing his cost of living, and adopted a minimalist philosophy focusing on experiences rather than material possessions.
So it's about making conscious choices about how you want to live and then structuring your finances to support that vision. It's about living intentionally, not just about accumulating wealth for the sake of it.
Precisely. And while some might see those choices as sacrifices, it seems Francisco viewed them as stepping stones to a richer life, just not necessarily one defined by expensive things.
It sounds like he found a way to create a life he didn't need to escape from. But even with financial independence, early retirement must come with its own set of challenges. Did the article touch on any of those?
It did. The article mentions that Francisco initially struggled with boredom. Having so much free time at such a young age can be a double-edged sword.
I can see that. It's
Yep.
like when you're a kid and you can't wait to be an adult and make your own decisions, but then you grow up and realize that adulting comes with a whole lot of responsibility. In Francisco's case, it was the responsibility of finding new meaning and purpose outside of his former work life.
Yes, and that's an important aspect of early retirement that often gets overlooked. You're not just retiring from a job, you're essentially redesigning your entire life.
Francisco had to figure out who he was and what he wanted to do with all this newfound time.
And what did that look like for him? Did he find something to fill that void?
It seems like he did. Remember his passion for custom guitars? Oh, right. He even only accepted Bitcoin as payment, which is a whole other level of commitment to this lifestyle.
Exactly. That business became a fulfilling creative outlet for him, and it further solidified his connection to the Bitcoin community. It allowed him to merge his passion with his financial philosophy.
It's fascinating how his story intertwines with Bitcoin on multiple levels. But let's be realistic for a moment. Selling your house and investing everything in a volatile asset like Bitcoin is inherently risky. What if it crashes?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And it's a risk Francisco readily acknowledges,
Yeah.
but he also emphasizes the importance of preparation and risk mitigation. He lives well below his means, giving him a financial cushion, even if the value of Bitcoin were to fluctuate. He also likely has other strategies in place, such as diversification, though the article doesn't delve into those specifics.
So it's not just about taking a gamble and hoping for the best. It's about taking calculated risks, having backup plans, and being prepared for different outcomes. But surely there are other ways to achieve financial freedom. Why did he choose this path? It's true that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to financial freedom, but Francisco's story highlights some universal truths about achieving it. It seems like a lot of it boils down to mindset, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Francisco's story challenges us to examine our own relationship with money and risk. He was willing to challenge conventional wisdom, embrace uncertainty, and bet on a future that looked very different from the present.
And he wasn't afraid to make unconventional choices to align his life with his goals. That takes serious courage and conviction. But let's bring this back down to earth for a moment. What are some practical takeaways our listeners can glean from Francisco's experience?
One key takeaway is the power of setting clear, ambitious goals. Francisco decided at age 20 what he wanted, and that clarity of vision guided his decisions every step of the way.
So it's not just about wanting to retire early. It's about defining what that actually looks like for you and then creating a roadmap to get there.
Exactly. And that roadmap should include a solid understanding of your finances, a willingness to explore different paths, and a commitment to living within your means even as your income grows.
Which might mean making different choices than your peers, like embracing minimalism or relocating to a more affordable area. Francisco's story shows that those choices, while sometimes difficult, can ultimately lead to greater freedom and fulfillment.
That's a great point. It's about aligning your lifestyle with your values and goals, not just following the crowd.
So while we may not all be ready to sell our houses and invest in Bitcoin, Francisco's story offers some valuable food for thought. It encourages us to question our assumptions, explore alternative paths, and define financial freedom on our own terms.
Precisely, Francisco's journey is a powerful reminder that while the path to financial freedom may look different for everyone, the destination is often within reach if we're willing to challenge the status quo and make bold choices.
It's a story that reminds us that sometimes the biggest risks come from playing it too safe. And who knows, with a little planning, a lot of learning, and maybe a dash of that Francisco fearlessness, perhaps early retirement isn't such a crazy dream after all.